All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Chictionary Podcast, episode 2. All right, so let's get straight into it, right? So today, Paul, we're talking about three different type of ladies. Three type of fellas ladies are into. All right. So I'm gonna go over the three different types of characters, um, personality types, however you want to put it, right? Simply put, women like a variety of men, right? So if you don't necessarily fit in one of these categories, or your personality doesn't necessarily lean to one of these, you don't feel no type of way, bro. Trust me, it's a lady out there that like exactly what you're bringing to the table. So
Repeat after me. Abilities it carries.
I accept this gift and all the responsibilities it carries.
I will never betray it.
I will never betray it.
I will never abandon
I will
it.
never abandon it.
Hold out your hands.
You can feel it. I can feel the power! Yes!
let's get into it, right? So I said I'm gonna go over 3 today. That don't mean that it's only 3, okay? I'm just going over 3 for simplicity. All right. So first type, funny. All right. I think that should be self-explanatory. What is a funny dude? A funny guy is a guy who is gonna make her laugh, make her girlfriends laugh. You know what I mean? He got a couple of jokes, whether it's situational, whether that be almost a comedian where when he tell his stories, he's brightening up the room. But the funny guy is gonna give everyone a sensation of pleasure. You understand what I'm saying? He's gonna attract a certain amount of attention. Um, it's also a lot of ways you can mess that up, right? Being the funny guy in the room, because you could be too loud as the funny guy, right? You could be the class clown type of funny guy where instead of being a funny guy that attracts the women, you the funny guy that pushes them away because people laughing at you, not with you, right? So I kind of fall into the category some days as the funny guy. So I want to go over like how I do that without necessarily being the laugh at and instead being the laugh with, right? Very simple. I try to keep my funniness to, I might make a little joke about the people in the room, but I'm not trying to get into a jousting match where we measuring eggplants, if you understand what I'm saying. I try to keep it to the point where everybody is enjoying the fact that they have my presence with them, and the energy that I'm bringing is let's all have a good time. How do I do that? There's a structure of being self-deprecating, right? Which means that I'm gonna talk about myself. I'm gonna make myself the butt of the joke, but not to the point where I'm a clown, right? So, example, when I'm telling a story, I like to be embarrassed in the story, right? Because that's funny to everybody. If you ever got a moment where, something happened and you came out and you was like, wow, I can't believe I let that go down. If you got a story where you dated somebody, that wasn't of your standard, you know what I mean? Or you got like a real bad date story. For instance, just making something up right here. Let's say you go out with somebody and they breath is woofing, right? And you keep so the story that you're telling is how you out with this person, their breath smells incredibly bad, and you keep trying to find ways to nudge them into mints, gum, eating something in general that's just gonna bring, the level of how they breath smell to a better space, right? So I would say something like, I was out with this, it could be a girl, it could be a homeboy, right? Dude start talking, it smelled like he was in a barnyard stepping on horse manure. right? And everything he's saying to me, he keep pulling me closer and talking to me all in my face. And as much as I'm trying to pull back, it's like he just burning the nose hairs on my joint. You understand what I'm saying? So first I hit him with I start chewing some gum. I'm like, yo, you want a stick? He like, nah, I don't really like gum like that, this, that, and the third. A few minutes later into the conversation, I'm like, yo, you want you want a Mentos? You know what I'm saying? You want some candy or something? He like, nah, I'm on a diet, this, that, and the third. Then you like, all right, well, let's get a drink, man. What you want, like a mint margarita or something? You know what I'm saying? Then we order hookah. He like, nah, I'm going to take a Hennessy. You know, Hennessy just going to make his breath worse. You understand what I'm saying? Then you like, all right, well, damn, let's get a hookah. You understand what I'm saying? Let's do mint and watermelon. He like, nah, I don't really like mint. Like, clearly, your ass don't like mint. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to do it by myself, but you get like the play off of you kind of building a story, and you may be talking about a fictional character, a real character, but all of that is inviting people to a world where technically you don't want just dealing with the stress of the situation, but it's so many points of highs that keep them enjoying themselves, laughing, because we all been in a situation like that before. You know what I mean? So I would always do that as the funny guy, because being the funny guy, that's like, where you take on the jokes, and it's like you taking it as your job to be like the thing that's funny. Like the guy who, for instance, with a baby, you could hurt yourself, right? You could be like, "Oh my God, I just hit my head," and that's hilarious to an infant, right? But that's not the type of comedy you want to bring to a situation when you out with females, right? That's not going to be a good look. I promise you. The clown, he don't really get the girl. The funny guy does. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to differentiate the two and make sure you provide that balance so that, like I said, people is laughing with you and not at you. All right? Second type of guy girls like. Dudes who get to the money. All right? Now, same thing. This is a gift and a curse. Why? Because it's so easy, right, for you to mess this up. If you the big money dude and you want to present yourself as such, because it's a lot of different reasons why this makes sense, right? One is for a lot of females, especially in the younger years, it's going to speed up getting to, what you're trying to get to. Because she's trying to lock you down as fast as you're trying to lock her down, if you understand what I'm saying, right? So the way that I think that you present this so that you don't put yourself in too much of harm's way is you offer to take care of things, or you make it seem when you do pay for something, you kind of, it's never nothing to you. You understand what I'm saying? So in a situation like this, how would I handle it, right? I'm out with a couple of my friends, my homeboys or whatever. We done invited some girls to the table. The bill is about to come. Before, as I see the waitress coming, you always keep your front to the restaurant door or whatever, right? You make sure the ladies is concentrating on you. So all they should have in front of them is you and a wall. You understand what I'm saying? So as the waitress come up, you're going to see that before they do, right? So you don't never even let the waitress get to you and put the bill on the table. Before you even look at the bill, y'all know what y'all order, so y'all know what it costs. You understand what I'm saying? You already hit her with the card, right? In a situation like that, you took command of the situation. You wasn't braggadocious about it, but, here you go, love. You gave it a debit card, credit card, whatever it is, and you took care of it without nobody even having to open the bill to see how much it is, etc. Right? You have displayed yourself as a dude who either has money, can take care of himself, etc. Right? How can you make this a clown thing? Same scenario. Waitress is coming with the bill. She go to put the bill on the table. You make a big scene and a big production about it. Nah, ma, got it. Come here, bring that over here. I got that, big boy. I mean, I'm saying we getting it around here. the movie that you're trying to present to show everybody that you paying for the bill, that's where you done took it from the ladies is interested in you because you pay for things and you take care of the bills and you get into the bag and you got money, to you a clown and you got money, right? Another thing that men mess up with, they turn themselves into tricks instead of it being perceived as this guy likes you and he thinks about you, so therefore he does things to take care of you. What am I saying? Let's say you dealing with a female, right? It's not a very long situation, right? It's not like y'all have years, months into the game. Y'all could be days, y'all could be weeks in, right? But you like her, so you want to impress her. You feel because you have money that one of the best ways to impress a woman is to provide her with things, right? There's nothing wrong with that, right? I love bringing roses home because them flowers, it's a very small token. It's $20 I might spend on 2 dozen roses, right? But that means something as a great gesture. I might buy your favorite candy. I might buy you your favorite ice cream. Let's say you having a conversation with a chick, with a young lady, and she tells you about a pair of shoes, right? Should you buy the shoes? Nah, because there's no real stimulation in that, right? But let's say y'all having a conversation, and I always like to teach the people that I'm around something, especially if me showing off my intellect is one of my best qualities, right? So we might have a conversation. That conversation might spark me asking about a book that you read or that I've read, something that I know about that you might not know about, right? A book might cost you anywhere from $10 to $40, right? If you smooth with it and you didn't actually already own the book, you buy it used. Now you just spent even less on it, right? And you got the quality of the book looking like it's been ran through, so she know that you giving her something out of your collection. You just spent money on her, but you didn't come off as a trick. You came off as thoughtful. You understand what I'm saying? It's very easy to blur this line. It's very easy to mess this up. What I will say to you is this, right? If a female is throwing hints at something that she wants you to purchase for her, and y'all are brand new into the situation, she's checking your temperature to see what she could get out of you, right? You might be comfortable with that. You may not be. What I will suggest is for things that are, I gotta go to the mall and I gotta know your shoe size, this, and this. That shouldn't come in for a while, right? What's a while? That depends on you. You might fall in love in 3 months. You might fall in love in a year, right? But those sort of things should take somewhere close to that amount of time, a couple of months. You know what I mean? Maybe 6, 7 months in, you start purchasing things that cost a little bit of money, especially things that are insignificant, that will hold no value to you as far as who y'all two are in your relationship, right? Now, let's say you're a couple days in and you want to flex. This is how I flex when I'm really trying to stunt. I pick the dress, I pick the shoes, I pick the bag, I pick the lipstick. I don't pick nothing else. Because either that's a surprise for me or it shouldn't be nothing else on. Right? So, in a situation like that, I say we're a couple of days in. That's definitely like, we've been rocking for a couple of weeks. I done fell asleep with you on the phone or something. You gotta you should at least have a little symbol next to your name on text messages and stuff. But when you do that, you are presenting yourself more as somebody who is thoughtful than as a trick. You understand what I'm saying? Now, if you just got it like that, you know what I mean? You want some, I'm gonna fly out to Paris because I could do it, and I just want some baguettes. Do your thing, Playboy. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I ain't on that level, so I don't play like that. But it's a bunch of different ways where you show your thoughtfulness in the things that you purchase more so than you showing how much money you got. You understand what I'm saying? Because the reality of it is, unless the girl is a label whore, what do I mean by label whore? Unless the lady is somebody who has on a bunch of labels from head to toe, think Mary J. Blige and Power, all right? It's a bunch of different other movies, but I ain't really good with characters that's Caucasian and remembering their names and all that, so I ain't even gonna try to hurt myself with thinking of somebody. But if you see somebody, if the girl that you are with is constantly focused on what type of logo she has, then absolutely, when you go out to purchase and replace some of those things, that's the type of stuff that you buy for her, right? But you didn't got to go crazy too soon, because that's what they catching. You understand what I'm saying? That early purchases, that's showing the man that you plan on being a year from now, etc. So tricking, that's where you go from tricking to just being thoughtful. Take your time. You purchase things that are meaningful, that have some sort of coded message behind it, that more so relate to you and her relationship more than it does just something that she liked. You know what I mean? So, last but not least, right? Everybody not gonna understand this when I say it, but it's the absolute fact. Women like assholes. All right? My pops taught me this when I was a young buck, right? He used to say, I always keep cash on me. And the reason why that is because he told me this story. He was on a train. It was this young lady that he thought was attractive, right? The young lady kind of always gave him this like vibe every time she seen him, right? But she was a businesswoman, so she had a job where it required her to wear pantyhose, or I don't know what y'all call them. I want to say pantyhose. I think that's the right term. Stockings. There you go. That's the other term for it. Stockings. She used to wear stockings to work, right? And I don't care what y'all ladies do. At some point, you gonna catch a run in them joints. You understand what I'm saying? So he just waited out. I think they actually worked around the same place, so that train was common for the two of them to be on it at the same time. The first time he seen her with the run in the stockings, he gave her like, I think he said like $3. That probably was a lot of money back then. That probably paid for stockings back then. And he was like, you gotta, he pointed out the lower floor. You gotta run in your stockings today, boo. Go take care of that. Here you go. Right? Did he bag her or any of that? I don't know. But his point was, everybody has a level of insecurity inside of them, right? And by you playing on that a little bit, not too much, you don't want to like hurt her feelings, right? But it's a reason why we call girls big head, right? They head probably is big. You understand what I'm saying? I know Gina and Martin, some of y'all might be too young for that, but her head was big. She had a big old apple head. You understand what I'm saying? But when you make those sweet nothings also something that she is a little insecure about, you keep bringing her down a little bit. You understand what I'm saying? And that elevates you and keeps you on her level, right? Because we all know that the women that we deal with, the women that we attracted to, they're amazingly beautiful, right? And those flaws that they have, who cares? You don't really care about none of them joints. You understand what I'm saying? If her, what is it? If the second toe is longer than the big toe, right? That's a little bit of a flaw, right? It's a little weird. It's a little awkward. But you don't really care about that. You understand what I'm saying? But if you mess with her about it, not in a, you got to do it in a playful way where you let it go immediately, right? So you make the comment and then you move on. You understand what I'm saying? Women love that because it keeps them in a space where they have to chase after you, right? Even if they're not actually chasing you, it still puts them in a mode of trying to impress you. Because now you'll watch her curl her toes up, right? You'll watch her make a little adjustments. She gonna always have her feet done around you because she see that you paying attention. Things of that nature. You are an asshole for that, but they're gonna love you, right? One of the things one of my homeboys is notorious for is killing a woman with attention when she's with him, and then when she's not around, he barely even talk to her, right? What he's doing is playing cat and mouse. So by love bombing her, and I don't even think he realized what he's doing, but by love bombing her when they're together, he's creating an atmosphere where she's excited to see him. She knows that when she's in this man's presence, she's going to be treated like a queen. She's going to enjoy herself, etc. Right? But that distance that he provides when she's not around, and he may call her, once every 2-3 weeks, he's providing a space where now her mind is turning, right? Now, I'm going to be 1,000 with you. This could seriously backfire. Why? Because you could be given too much space. And if the girl that you chasing after is a very sought after woman and she not too busy, you understand what I'm saying? She got other suitors that could be entertaining her, right? So your distance could take you out the race. So you don't want to be too. I'm not giving you more than 3 days. They say even your enemies look for you in 3 days, right? So that's my play. I'm always going to be around within a 3-day span. I'm gonna hit you with a had a great time text probably the next day. Then I might not hit you for another 2-3 days, but by that third day, hey, what's going on? How you doing? This, that, and the third. We're gonna touch base. Even if I ain't planning to see you, I don't want to go nowhere with you. None of that. I'm still gonna make that my presence known, right? Because that's gonna keep your mind intrigued. That's gonna keep me on the front of your mind. And when I do decide that I want to do something with you, it's not to be looked at in a strange way because we stay in constant contact. You understand what I'm saying? So, but I promise you, women love a man who is a little distant, right? Who takes his time, and he don't do everything to just push her ego through the moon. Now you could make the little jokes and still push her ego up. But by you making the little jokes, you keep her, like I said, on the same plane that you want, that y'all two want to be on, where she's trying to impress you, you're trying to impress her. You understand what I'm saying? It's beautiful to play that cat and mouse. It keeps things spicy, it keeps things entertaining, and it always lets her know, like, yeah, one, you are paying very close attention to her, but you see the little flaws that she got, and you love her for them anyway, right? So those are the three guys you could always think about presenting yourself as, right? On the surface, you can combine the three. You could mix and match, or you could just be one, right? Your personality, 9 times out of 10, leads you to one of those qualities anyway, right? It fits you in one of those brackets. Trust me, there's hundreds of other different personality arcs that you probably do fall under, whether it be in totality or as a mixture. But those are three I just wanted to throw out there for this podcast to give you some game on, just kind of give you some little reference points, some little hints and clues on how to carry yourself. Because I feel like no matter where you fall, some of that stuff you should be doing no matter what. You understand what I'm saying? When the check come, especially when you out with a woman for the first time or the first few times, she shouldn't see. There's no reason for her the bill don't necessarily need to make it to the table. I promise you, it's so player, and it kind of puts you in a smooth space where when she come back with the and hand you your card, especially if she didn't see you give her the card, she like, damn, when did that happen? Like, you understand what I'm saying? She intrigued by how you moving so smooth. The funny guy, listen, man, they always say you start with laughter, and then them clothes come off right after. They're gonna laugh you right up out of them pants. It's real talk. And lastly, the asshole. Realistic. I'm being completely honest with you. Women love it. You understand what I'm saying? You just think about some of the female friends that you've had, and they tell you about some guy who they just, strung out over, right? Right? They want this guy so bad, but at the same time, he just ain't really giving them what they looking for. But somehow they still want this dude. They still chasing after that person, right? I mean, it's something that I understand how it works. I never understand why it works, right? But it does. So you got to play that game. You know what I mean? Every woman you got to look at as like a Rubik's cube or a lock, and there's certain things that you could do to kind of get you from one level to the next, right? So you think of like a master lock, and the first one you got to turn to the right and get to number 13, and then you got to turn to the left and get to 20, and then you got to turn to the right and get to 15. These are things that's going to open you up to the levels that you're trying to get to, not only to be with her, but also to learn her, to understand her, right? And to make yourself kind of stand out from the rest of the pack. So I'm gonna end it there. I don't feel like I need to belabor the point too much, but thank you for your time. You know what I mean? This is the Chictionary Podcast. We appreciate you listening. I appreciate you listening. You know what I mean? It's your big bro Donnell. I'm here for you. Leave some questions and comments in the inbox. I got an Instagram, Chictionary Podcast Instagram. Hit me up on there. You could DM me direct if you got some questions for me you want me to try to answer on the pod. You know what I mean? I'm kind of starting to like this a little bit, getting a little bit more comfortable. I got a lot of work to do with this editing, so just bear with me. Hopefully the audio at least is something that you're enjoying. If you're watching on YouTube, you know what I mean? Listen, it's my first time at this. So, bear with the kid, but thank you for your time, and enjoy the rest of your day, your evening, whatever that may be.